Good evening, Council. Ray Stephens, 801 Ring Court, Forney, Texas. I come to you to humbly ask you to reconsider your previous votes on the maintenance agreement for Markout for numerous reasons. I've been involved in this since the very beginning. For some crazy reason, I believe the public, because of social media and stuff, believes that this council and myself is all about the city taking over Markout. That's never been the full-blown goal. The first goal was to reduce the water rates of Greyhawk residents, people living inside the city limits. That was the first goal. Originally, about 3 years ago, let's take that 5 years ago, when I first got appointed and elected to the council, I immediately went to the city manager then and the current mayor then and started complaining about the water rates of Greyhawk. People would hear me make jokes inside council sessions and say how we got the high rates. I wanted to change, and I was always told, no, 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 it can't be done because the cost associated with it, Markout would not give up Greyhawk. Lo and behold, we have an election. We have the new mayor comes in right a few months after the mayor comes in. We start talking about a Wynn Jackson development going right across the street from Greyhawk. I immediately go to the city manager, the former city manager, and said, no way, no how. I can't be a sitting city council member living right across the street and vote to give them city water when we're paying 66% higher rates. There's no wrong. There's just no way. I believe Mr. Hobbs, you were there, I would complain about it nonstop. Again, I was against Wynn Jackson at the time. And then we started pushing at the exact same time, we started finding out that Markout was having difficulties and they might not last. And that's when the idea came up with possibly we can get Greyhawk and everybody else and maybe fix the Greyhawk and Markout issue all at the same time. That's where it really came about. It was never a campaign issue or nothing like that. I originally wanted for Greyhawk to be pulled into the city, and that's what I recommended, Greyhawk only, because those are city residents. But that's not right. You got to look at the Markout residents. We're a city without limits. Markout's going to go away, like it or not. They're going to go away. They know it, we know it. We have to come up with a plan that benefits all of them along with Greyhawk. And I'm open to that. I'm open to the idea of you doing a feasibility study. We never had a chance because we were dealing with the boundary district, with Mesquite and all that months prior to this, before I left office. None of that was ever solved before I left. And we never tasked the city manager of doing an official study. This is what I'm asking the city council to do. I'm asking to maintain the maintenance agreement only with Markout. Why you do a feasibility study? And in that feasibility study, look at options of one, how can we, is it financially wise to absorb all the Markout? Because if it's not, I'll be the first one to stand up here and publicly say, I'm not supporting $10 or $11 million to buy Markout out or take it. I'm not going to support it. I've said it from the very beginning. Is it possible that we make a deal with Talty and they take over part of Markout and bring Greyhawk in? Is it possible? Is it possible that we look at High Point, Talty, and Markout and figure a way during this study and say, how can maybe we just reduce the increase that we charge them? That might benefit all the water districts. And sure, Markout or Greyhawk residents, you might have because some of you are here, you might have a higher rate than a city resident. But then High Point will be lower because we got residents that live in the city limits and get water from High Point. They get it from Talty. It might benefit everybody. Can the city absorb that?